Welcome to the MercyGrace show. My name is MercyGrace, and the time is 16 minutes after 10. I am super excited. We have a guest in the house. Her name is Catheline Mahuto. If you did see our post on social media, and if you were tuning in yesterday, we did talk about a lady who wrote a book called The Superpower of the Girl Child, and she's in the studio. We are super excited. How are you, ma'am?
I'm very well and I'm blessed.
Thank you for coming. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Definitely. So we're going to be talking about this book, and she will just give us probably a summary of the book and tell us what it's about and what inspired her to write this book. I'm excited because it's about the girl child, and you know how I'm so it's close to my heart when we talk about the girl child and the challenges we face as ladies and the things that we face, and this is what has been written in this book. So we're going to be talking about that in detail today, and we are very blessed that you say this is your first interview, right?
Sort of a second one.
It's the second one.
Yes.
So we are right there. And this is actually our first interview for 2023.
Oh.
So you are very much privileged, ma'am. And we are very happy to have you. So we have been playing some music from Tanzanian Women All-Stars, the song called Superwoman. Definitely today it's all about the women. So let's just talk a bit about Mama Catheline Mahuto here. She says, okay, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, ma'am, and who is Catheline Mahuto, and when did you begin writing?
Thank you very much, Queen Esther. I hope I can call you that.
You can call me whatever is comfortable. Okay, you guys, my other name is Queen Esther. I've got many of those names. Here on Tiscasta FM, I'm MercyGrace, but yes, I'm also Queen Esther, and I will explain to you later on why I am also called Queen Esther, and it has to do with writing as well. So I'm really excited that you came, because this is the part that I'm also taking, and maybe I can also take some notes from you. So tell us about yourself.
Right. My name is Catheline Mahuto.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been called by the full name.
Okay.
By my parents, they called me Katie.
Oh, okay.
So I've always been Gogo Katie, Tete Katie,
Right.
Mama Katie. It's like the Katie thing is just the old norm.
All right.
I'm the first child in a family of 9.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we are so many girls and we only had 3 boys.
Okay.
I'm a mother of 4 grown-up children.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 12 grandchildren from the 4.
Amazing.
And I've got 3 great-grandchildren.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I've seen my 3rd generation.
Okay.
I'm blessed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so privileged, definitely, as you say.
Definitely.
This is the first interview for 2023,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm also privileged to be here, because if I try to look around for my colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
those I worked with, those I went to school with, there are quite a few
Yes.
that I can say they are still alive like
Okay.
me. I remember at one time I was posting something on Facebook.
Yes.
It was a TikTok thing.
Uh-huh.
When I was trying to cancel, and this young man came and said, "Oh, what are you doing on TikTok?"
Okay.
So, you belong to the cemetery, because that's where you belong. And so
Oh
I
my
said,
goodness, you were so blunt.
"You're so blessed." But then I said, you know what? You are blessed to have met me.
Definitely, we
Because
are
I have
very
something
blessed.
to share with you.
Yes, all the wisdom.
I have the wisdom to share with you.
Definitely, we are blessed.
So it was quite blunt, but then at the end of the day, he did listen.
All right.
And he keeps coming. He's one of my followers on Facebook.
Well done for listening, whoever you are. Well done for listening. We are very blessed. You know, we love you, Anna Mama. I'll call you Mama Katie.
Yes.
Because to me, you are a mom. And tell us how you started writing.
Writing came as the last thing that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, but I've always kept a journal.
Okay.
The journal was like I would be writing everything that happens every day.
Yes.
from the time I can remember that I have to write something down.
Okay.
What am I doing tomorrow? Where am I going tomorrow? Who am I going to meet?
Okay.
Because I ended up being an independent beauty consultant.
All right.
So because of makeup and everything, I do teach on Facebook as well as all the social media platforms.
You teach makeup?
Yes.
Wow. I'm going to be following. I am going to be following. That's nice.
Yeah. So it was that way that one of our teachers at the place that I was doing cosmetics, she said, you know what? Every day should be an episode for you. And every day you get up, you don't fall back, you fall forward.
Yes.
Because if you fall backwards, you are not going to get up.
Definitely.
You need someone to come and pick you up. But if you fall forward, you are going to remember what you have done.
Yes.
And then you have to stand up, dust off, and then start moving forward.
Yes.
So it has been like that until the lockdown thing. It was COVID time.
Yes.
I met a lot because I did counseling.
Yes.
So because of that, I always teach as well on Facebook. I would get up. It was too boring. I was thinking, COVID, am I going to make it? So I started talking to people. And I would say at 10 o'clock, I would start my show.
Okay.
And then I would say, tonight, I'm going to talk about this.
Okay.
Because during the day, then I would meet people who would call me and say, Mama Kate,
All right.
what's going on? Vana vakatorwa ne-social services. Or takarwa saka murume wangu akaiswa ku vanoti sanctuary vakaiswa ikoko because hatisi kubvumirana kumba.
All right.
And I've looked at this and took myself back to my own history as a girl child.
All right.
Hence I started writing from that journal to what I was meeting along the way with people who were in the marriage circles.
Okay.
Either they are girls who are getting married or they are boys who are also trying to get married and settle. So I would always do meet those people and stick to them. So at night, I would then sit down and start talking on Facebook.
So I guess this is where Tete Kete came from.
That's where Tete Kete came from.
Because here in Zimbabwe, if you give advice, you are Tete.
Yeah, but then I used to call on my pages, one of them I used to call myself Mambo Cards. I remember.
Can you explain that?
Mambo Cards is like, I looked at myself at this time and I thought, I think I'm much better to be Mambo Cards. Anyemba is like, I'm a tembo.
Okay.
So because of that, I said to myself, okay, Manjenjenje, and a tembo. What's the history like? So I followed that history a bit.
Okay.
And then I realized,
Mambo Cards.
Mambo Cards.
Definitely she's the queen. She's the queen. She's the real queen. I'm taking notes because I want to learn as well. All right, this is amazing, Mama. It's really inspiring. You know, we always love to learn because we want our future to be a better future. Even as we are raising our own children, we also want them to be raised in better environments.
Yes.
So definitely we are inspired to have people like you who are willing even to share their own personal lifestyle. Okay, so all right, let's see, what do we have here? You already told us what inspired, but what actually inspired you to do journals? Did you just come up with it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't even writing anything.
All right.
I was just someone who get up and go to work.
All right.
Because I was working in the health services.
Okay.
And it would be like, you are working 24/7. When people hear that people are in the diaspora, they think you are just there and going to a tree and get money down on the floor. No, it's not.
Okay.
We work 3 jobs.
Yes.
You go to this one and go to the next one, and because you are thinking, I left people at home. So how do I take care of them? Meanwhile, you've got a life as well.
Yes.
You need to pay your rent. You need to pay your bills. You need to live a life because that is your home. It becomes your home. The moment you get out of Zimbabwe and go to another country, you have got to remember that's your home. So the first person is you. But many times we lose track of that. we do not look after ourselves.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we get stressed. We
Yes,
sort of
yes,
people
yes,
start
yes.
fighting, especially in circles of marriage. They start fighting
Definitely.
because they are not understanding each other.
Definitely.
The money is not enough.
Mm.
She is going to send money home. He is going to send money home, and
Yes.
eventually the people start fighting.
They start struggling.
So
Okay.
writing was like. I looked at myself. Well, this book is not fiction. It's real.
Real life
It's a
story.
real life story.
Okay.
I looked at how we grew up as children, boys and girls,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a message to the parents of today.
Mm-hmm.
They've something they need to change,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to children,
Mm-hmm.
whether the child is a boy,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a girl.
Yes.
I've seen this firsthand because of the diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only UK.
Yes.
I'm like
All over, yes.
I get people who speak to me. They,
All
if you
right.
check my pages,
All right.
they follow.
Definitely will be following.
It's when I look at the book, as you said,
Uh-huh.
this book says transcending gender bias and
Mhm.
overcoming obstacles
Mhm.
is the superpower of the girl child.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling myself the superpower of the girl child.
Yes.
But on the first statement is like transcending gender bias
Mhm.
and overcoming obstacles. Here, I'm looking at the children, both of them,
Mm-hmm.
a boy and a girl.
Yes.
What was happening in our lives was, look, I'm almost 70 something.
Yes.
What was it like when we grew up?
Yes.
This is what inspired me to write.
Yes.
And I've also been inspired by people like Dr. Terry Wright Trent.
Mm-hmm.
She literally, her story is like my story.
Okay.
She was married at 14.
Uh-huh. All right.
So I was married at 14.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I was almost just after standard 6, we used to call it.
Yes.
And our parents that time,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't understand.
Yes.
It was not their fault.
Mhm.
It was the culture
That
and the
was
custom
there.
that was there.
Yes.
And they didn't think a girl child can be someone
Someone
who
else, yes.
can help them later in life.
Mm-hmm.
All they saw was a girl child needs to be married.
Mm-hmm.
So we were literally prepared from the young age. You are told you've got to behave because you're going to be married.
Mm-hmm.
You are told if you don't watch these dishes correctly or
Mhm.
do these things correctly, where you go, we are going to be ashamed of you because people will not like you, they will despise you because you've done something wrong.
Yes.
So it was like a girl child needs to know her place.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be sitting down, folding your legs. The boys, if you sit on the bench,
Mhm.
they will tell you, what are you doing on the bench?
Mhm.
Get down.
Mhm.
Because it was a place for men.
Yes.
And for that reason, why the sentence transcending gender bias is that is where it comes from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I looked at it this way now that I'm over that period of time,
Yes.
and I'm looking to the younger me
Yes.
as a parent.
Mhm.
What would I change?
Yes.
This is why this book comes into play.
Amazing. I'm actually glad that you mentioned that because we're actually talking about it in the morning with Mr. Sol and Sol that there's certain things that society has done that has actually led to certain incidents that we face nowadays, like the rate at which people are divorcing, the fact that most women don't even want to get married anymore. They would rather date another married man so that they don't have to settle. You find that our kids are getting into situations like drugs and all that. And it all comes from backgrounds and how we have been raised. So comparing your time and nowadays, what could be the differences? What was leading people to get into the situations that you faced? How is it different from what people are facing nowadays, which is leading people into such difficult? Would you say like they're the same scenarios or things have changed? But what is really causing people to get into these difficulties as women, as children? What could be causing those challenges?
I tell you what, nothing seems to have changed much, especially when it comes to us as Africans.
Yes.
And especially I will talk about us as Zimbabweans, what have changed. This is my message today to them. I hope parents will listen to this. Our time, the girl child was actually it was like you are put there, and your reason to be born is you are supposed to be married.
Yes.
And your brother is the one who is supposed to tell you what to do.
Okay.
And if anything goes wrong, your parents would ask your brother to beat you up.
Ish. Okay.
Because they will say the boy is the one who is the prince of this home.
Okay.
And that's their home. So they had no respect for us.
Yes.
Which is something that the parents of today have got to look into this properly.
Okay.
When we were growing up, the boys were told, you don't do these things for them. You don't wash dishes. Even you don't even take nappies if there's a baby.
Yes.
Even they cannot cook.
Yes.
They cannot wash their clothes.
True.
You remained as their maid.
Yes.
A boy child would come from school, take off his shoes, and go to play. But you cannot go to play.
You can't do that.
You have to be at home.
Doing the chores.
Doing the chores. The boy child comes home, he's tired, he's been playing football, whatever. He gets home, he has to eat. He didn't cook, he doesn't even know where the food came from.
Okay.
And now he has finished eating, he will leave the dishes where you gave him.
Yes.
And if you don't take them yourself, they will ask you, what are you sitting? Why are you sitting down? Take those plates from Chino. Chino just left his socks there. Chino left his shoes there. It was like you are a maid.
You're a maid.
Parents of today, they need to change
Yes.
that kind of upbringing for their children because we need a good background. When I look at it now, why there are divorces and all these things happening, especially in the diaspora. The man came from here, and the girl child came from here.
Yes.
It's really sad when I look at it. They both went to the diaspora.
Yes.
Probably they met there. What happens? The girl child, the moment she gets into, it's UK, it's America, she has got a mandate. She starts looking at what and why she's there. She will go to work.
She has to work.
Meanwhile, the boy child comes into the diaspora. No. He's still lingering around, he's still going around as if he's lost.
They're used to being pampered.
Because what has happened here is when the boy child was at home, he was being pampered, he was a prince of the home.
Yes.
And then he gets to diaspora. He's still expecting a maid like his sister. Now, this woman has been groomed to be who she is.
Yes.
And she is very focused. The boy child comes in. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't do dishes. He doesn't cook. He doesn't even know that he's supposed to get home, get onto the freezer, take food out and cook.
Yes.
He doesn't even know how to cook.
Okay.
He doesn't even know how to wash, even to sweep. Okay, in the diaspora we have machines to wash dishes. He cannot even take those to put them in the machine.
In the dishwasher.
There's a laundry machine to wash. He doesn't even take his clothes to put them there. He would rather check them and leave them somewhere so that the maid will come and do.
Yes.
That's where they are divorcing.
Yes.
And the rate they are divorcing is high.
Yes.
It's because ourselves as parents, we didn't look at it that way.
Yes.
We always thought the boy child was, I don't know whether it was something else, I don't understand even up to now. But for the parents of today, they must change that way. They must change that scenario. Treat the boys and the girls just the same. Give him the day that he's going to be starting from morning, he's going to be cleaning, he's going to be cooking, he's going to give everyone food, and finally he's going to wash the dishes. If it is laundry day, he must do his laundry and put it online, and when it is time to iron, he has to iron those clothes. So the next time he's going to meet his fiancé, it's a different scenario because he understands that we have to do things together. And many times as well, I've looked at man in the diaspora here. When you fall pregnant and you go for maternity, you go to labor, the nurses will tell you to get up.
Yes.
The husband, no, you are not allowed here.
True.
So when the child comes, it's like a child came from the star.
From the mother.
From the star, not from. He doesn't even know the responsibility of being a father to his own child. So this is something that parents definitely need to change.
Okay.
We have to shift to that goal.
Okay. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. We actually were talking about it, was it a few days ago or last week, that the divorce rates in the diaspora, like what you're saying, we've actually noticed that people have so much pressure there because of the work. We actually mentioned it.
Yeah.
It was actually yesterday, right? Where we were mentioning that you find that even how they end up interacting with their relatives back home, they are so tense. The relationships are becoming tense because of probably the pressures they face due to the amount of work they have to do, and also still feed us here back at home.
Yeah.
So those are some of the pressures that people are facing out there. And I would just love to mention that this situation about men actually just sitting back and not doing anything, it's actually not only out there. Even back here at home, we are having situations like that, whereby the man doesn't even work, has to wait for the woman to do everything basically, and not even a simple thing like being the leader spiritually, like where are we going spiritually in the household. And we are noticing that those are some of the situations that are leading to many divorces, because the man is no longer like the head of the house. So I really appreciate that you came through, and this is a very interesting topic. And tell us, are you still working, or you are now a full-time author?
I'm now a pensioner.
Oh, you are now a pensioner.
Yes.
Great stuff. So are you doing writing?
Now I'm
full-time?
writing, I'm doing counseling, I'm doing my normal thing as usual, the beauty thing. I love beauty.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me not to put lipstick, I will be crazy.
All right. That's
so
nice.
Lipstick is something that I always look at a woman and think, she's not complete, she needs a lipstick.
I'm not complete. Oh my God.
Here you are.
Definitely. No, it's good. You look beautiful. Well, I didn't even think you were already almost in your 70s until you mentioned that you're beautiful. So keep it going, and we are taking notes, like I said, because I have to be the queen as well.
Yes.
So let's just take a short break as we play some music from Alicia Keys here. The song is called Superwoman. Again, we listen to the music of Alicia Keys, their Superwoman. And we also listened to Caroline's another song called Superwoman. Definitely today we are talking about the women, and we are just trying to empower our women, because we have noticed that the girl child faces so much pressure in society. So we have with us the author of the book, The Superpower of the Girl Child, and her name is Catheline Mahuto. I am calling her Mama Katie. And Mama, we just want you to tell us about this book. Probably just summarize it and tell us what it's about.
Yes. In my book, I wrote about my life.
Mm-hmm.
When I wrote about my life, probably it made a lot of questions to my family and think, wow, what is she going to say in that book?
Yes.
You know? And this happens quite a lot, but definitely I didn't mean to hate anyone in my family.
Yes.
But what I meant was, I was writing to the young me, the young Katie.
Yes.
When she's starting
The
from
young
there,
queen.
the young one. So in my book I wrote how the girl child is marginalized from the young age.
Yes.
And we still see this today.
Definitely.
So I got married at 14. And I kept fighting with my parents. And I kept saying, no, I'm going to school. Married or not married, I'm still going to school. And finally, I didn't go to school, definitely. They sent me instead to a home craft. And the home craft itself was 2 years, where I was taught how to make dresses. I do make my dresses up to now. I'm a dressmaker.
Yes.
Here in Zimbabwe, I used to do my dresses along Fourth Avenue, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, it was the names.
Fashion is really your thing.
Fashion is really my thing.
All right.
So I started doing this. I went to this home craft and I did learn for 2 years. So I learned everything, which I was actually being groomed again to be a woman, a wife, a mother. So I would do the sewing, I would bake, I would do the gardening, I would cook, I would do almost crochet and everything. It did come to help me later on in life. I do appreciate my parents then when they listened to me that time. So when I got married, things didn't turn out the way I thought they would. I still went on to have 4 children because I was still young.
Yes.
Many times when I look at the child of today, the girl child, you are not aware of what is going on in your relationship.
Yes.
Which is what I did.
Okay.
And I've written and said, it was like you are a monkey locked in a cage.
Yes.
The cage is not locked actually. You can push it and come out.
Wow.
But because you are still young and very much in love, and you still think this man is gonna be looking after you or do things the way you feel they should for a girl child. Subsequently, it's not like that. So I write in my book that I didn't notice this, but I kept having children until I had the 4th child. And at that time, I realized, things are not working here. Because my husband then got married to his mistress when I was in the house and I was almost 7 months pregnant.
Oh, jeez.
And for women of today, you would go and fight, isn't it?
Yes.
No. The one thing the girl child should realize is if your husband is going to value you and if he values your marriage, you will not look around.
Definitely.
Even if he does, he can always remember to jump out and say, I'm going home.
Yes.
My wife is waiting. My children are waiting.
Yes.
So what happens then if the husband is no longer value this marriage? If the husband doesn't value you anymore, are you supposed to still keep in here? Of course we do, because we think if I leave, I've wasted 20 years of my time I've been here. I've been building this relationship to think things will work out. But things doesn't work out. It was just exactly what I did.
Yes.
I started looking at myself and thinking, is this going to be my life forever? I do think now that I'm out of that marriage.
All right.
I've actually managed to do well.
All right.
Because of that course my parents gave me. I started sewing and I even ventured into leather. There was a lady, a man called Dory, who used to do handbags written Dory. He actually donated a machine to me.
Right.
And I started making those jackets, leather.
Wonderful.
And I would travel to South Africa. I traveled the borders right through.
Wow.
And finally I was now going to Mauritius. I would go there for a week. And my children went to school. The boys went to Prince Edward.
Wow.
The girls went to Queen Elizabeth.
Wonderful.
So they are doing whatever they are doing in their lives. I don't regret it. But it was hard for a girl child, which the background that we had at that time, I really wanted to express here that if you are going to be reading this book, you will come to a page where it gives you questions, which you've got to do your homework.
All right.
From this book.
Okay.
So you read the chapter, and when you get here, you have got to make your homework.
Okay.
This book is asking you, what is it about your life? What do you expect in your life?
Definitely.
And how do you expect to be treated? Because there's one thing that happens in our lives. Instead of someone looking at you and give you the right attitude or give you the life that you think, okay, the day that we got married, we put rings on, my husband was like, I love this woman, I'm crazy.
Yes.
And then 2 minutes down the line, he's no longer the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You are now calling him Baba Ningi, or you are now calling him with a mascara. You were used to call him.
And you become the maid again.
You become a maid again.
Yeah.
So when I wrote my book, I wrote about this transcending gender bias because it has been the norm.
Yeah.
It might not be Zimbabweans only. All around the world,
All around, yeah.
you see them in some countries where they have to cover their faces. It's a man.
Yes.
Born by a woman 9 months,
Yes.
and later on he comes to torment you.
Yes.
It's really sad why and where this is going to go at the end of the day.
Yes.
Hence, as you said, girls now are thinking, should I get married?
Mm-hmm.
And then I get treated like what
Like
that man
that.
is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they think, no, I'm not getting married.
All right.
I'd rather stay alone.
So in the summary of this book, there's a part that says, what we have not seen enough of is families being educated to think beyond cultural lines and break old beliefs in order to learn to appreciate the power of raising a child with the mindset of building strong future generations. I like that, and also I like the fact that you did mention about abusive marriages, because I myself am a survivor of an abusive marriage. So it empowers us when we have people who talk about those things, because a lot of times people get involved in these situations and they can't even speak out.
Yes.
So when you realize someone who has been in a situation like that and she speaks, it actually also gives confidence to other people out there. So we want to appreciate you for that. And also I noted what you were saying about how those cultures are leading people into the wrong marriages, because you find that most of those women, it's because of what we were taught of what a wife should be,
Yes.
which is actually not true.
Yeah.
And that's how we end up getting involved in those marriages that are not good for us. Mama, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you so much. We really appreciate, and we want this book to go far. Definitely. We are advertising it as well on our platforms, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Minister.
Yes.
You really have given me the opportunity to come and share with you. And I hope the girls who are listening today and in the future, because social media goes far.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope and pray that they will get to this book and read, and I encourage them as well to do their homework. When they finish a chapter, they must do the homework, and if they are going to buy it on Amazon, they need to leave a review and tell me what has helped them in the review, in the book. So that would be a good thing, because I really, really appreciate you, and I also would love the girl child to remember, and also the boy child to remember it's his responsibility.
Yes. Oh, yes.
He was actually, when we go to the Bible, he was given the responsibility of being a father.
Yes, to manage things.
So if you find you are a man being looked after by your wife or woman, something is wrong. If you find you are a man who moves in to live with a woman, then the doctor needs to check your mind, because I think it's wrong.
Definitely.
You are a father.
Yes.
You are a prince.
You are a provider.
You are a provider.
Source. Definitely.
You are not simply the tail of a woman.
Yes.
The moment you find your woman leading you by your ears, then something is
not
really
right.
wrong. So
Definitely.
I do appreciate you guys.
Thank you
so much.
so much. So I did mention that I would tell you why I'm called Queen Esther. It's actually because it's a name that I adopted for my writing as well. I'm also starting to write books, and I recently wrote a book called Blossom. It also has to do with marriages, and it's basically just telling people what a marriage should be according to biblical terms, according to how God created us, and it explains all that, how we should not just accept abusive marriages and think because I'm a wife I should just say yes to everything. So I was really happy when Mrs. Solonsol told me about you, because I advocate for that. So Mama, I am going to be following your pages, and I want to encourage all the ladies out there, let's follow her, even about the beauty, because you have to make yourself look good and feel good. We want to empower women. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.